If you're a UK citizen or living in the UK and you're tired of the riots, of the two-tier policing, of the uncontrollable control that the government wants over your life, I'm going to tell you how you can leave the UK, where you should go, what process should you follow, and how to find the perfect country for you as a UK citizen where our wealthiest UK clients are going to. Now, I'm assuming if you're watching this video, this channel is called Wealthy Expat. We help wealthy entrepreneurs and individuals around the world go to better countries, go where they have more freedom, more asset protection, and less taxes. So I'm assuming that you are either wealthy, an investor, or you have location-independent income. And you're sitting in the UK because you have family, you have a business, you are from there, essentially, and you're ready to leave. The first thing to do is to find an intermediary country. It doesn't have to be perfect. The first place that you choose to move abroad does not have to be the best country on earth. You don't have to Google what are the best places to retire, what are the best places to raise children. The point is to leave for the first couple of years. And that is why so many people go to Dubai, to the United Arab Emirates. It is not the place they're going to be for the next 20 years. It's hard to get citizenship. It's a pretty controlled place in terms of surveillance. It's a safe place. It doesn't have much nature. It's pretty well developed. It's good for networking. So it has its pros and its cons. But it doesn't have to be the place for your next 10 to 20 years. Same like me. I moved to Dubai for 3 years and a half. I was kind of forced to leave Dubai, and now I chose another country after traveling to more than 80 countries around the world, and that's what you can do. Other places could be Greece with the Greek Golden Visa. A lot of UK citizens are going to Greece, buying property in Greece. I was recently in Athens meeting lawyers, and the lawyers told me that their biggest client base right now, apart from Turkish people, is UK citizens. They want to leave the UK. They want to go somewhere with better weather. They want to go somewhere more relaxed, with better nature. Overall, they don't want to be bothered by the UK government, so they are choosing Greece, they're buying property, and they're getting the Greek Golden Visa. Others are choosing Portugal through the Portuguese Golden Visa, Spain through the Spanish Golden Visa or the retirement visa. You have Thailand, more for younger people. If you're interested in Southeast Asia, Thailand is one of the easiest places to move to. You got a Thai Elite visa, you donate some money to the government, you get a 10-year, 20-year visa, and then you move to Thailand and you enjoy your life better. One of my friends, Sam, is a video editor. He runs a big video editing business and has a ton of employees, and he runs the company from Thailand. He's a UK citizen, and he's extremely happy with his motorbike in Thailand. Maybe that's not for you. So that's why there's so many different options as your first country to move to. Others choose Mexico. I'm a Mexican citizen. I promote Mexico a lot. It's the land of the free, the real land of the free, because the government doesn't care about you. Yes, there is crime. Yes, there is some instability. The currency is fluctuating a lot. We have a new government that might not head in the right direction, but overall, it is much more free than the UK. Better weather, better people, friendlier people. There's not this hatred between races, white against Pakistanis and against Indians and against Muslims. And you want to choose a country where you have peace. If you have money, go to a place that you're not in this constant battle of the races and this constant societal collapse that we're seeing right now in the UK. And yes, it might be funny saying go somewhere that has peace and suggesting Mexico, but in my opinion, Mexico is a lot safer if you are aware of your surroundings, if you pick your areas better than the UK is at this point. You have other places like Cayman Islands. UK citizens can move quite easily if they invest in the Cayman Islands. If you have a lot of money, multiple millions, you can live a tax-free lifestyle in the Cayman Islands. These are just some examples, easy examples, places that you can move in the next couple of months. And once you move to one of these places, for example, Dubai, you can then become a tax non-resident of the UK. It's a straightforward process. You can't spend too much time in the UK, so you can't just move somewhere and then come back to the UK for 5 months a year, because you will still be a tax resident of the UK. So you will still pay taxes, fund the UK government that is trying to control your life while living outside of the UK. So you want to check the statutory residency test from the HMRC, the UK tax department, to see exactly how many days per year in the tax year you can live in the UK and not pay taxes in the UK. So if you're going to Dubai, you're settling in Dubai. As I said, it doesn't have to be the place forever. It can be 2 to 3 years while you make your millions, while you make more millions, while you expand your crypto portfolio, and you don't need to pay taxes back to the UK because you will become a tax non-resident. You need to pay taxes up to the day when you leave the UK or until the end of the tax year when you leave the UK. But after that, you are free, specifically on capital gains, which are not taxed in the UAE. All of these countries have their different tax laws, have their different banking regulations. For example, you don't want to bank in Mexico. You don't want to have a bank account in Mexico. If you're moving to Mexico, you want to have a bank account online, like a Wise account, or you want to set it up in the UAE and then go live in Mexico. A lot of UK citizens that work with us, they do that. They set up their company, their banking in the UAE. They make sure they're tax non-resident in the UK, and then they go live in Thailand, in Mexico, in Spain, and they don't have their banking in those countries, specifically, for example, in Spain, because they don't want to get trapped in the tax net. They only spend 4 months a year in Spain. Their setup is in the UAE. The rest of the time, they're in Thailand, in Vietnam, in other countries. So essentially, you pick one place as your setup place, as the first place where you're moving to. You make sure you left properly the UK. If you have any companies in the UK, you want to get them out. You want to transition them out of the UK. If you have any investments in the UK as well, transition them. Real estate, this can get extremely complex, but you get the point. Now, important is that the place that you choose, you don't just want to choose it and then start nomading around the world. You want to have a proper residency permit. A lot of people, what they do is they get a digital nomad visa, or they just hop between different places, or they go 90 days to the Schengen area and then 30 days to Thailand and then 30 days to the UAE. You don't want to do that because the HMRC can then chase you because you don't live anywhere. You don't have any tax residency, any new place that you call home. Definitely get a second residency, and also consider getting a second passport. I know it might sound a bit funny. Why a UK citizen with a great passport? You can travel all over the world. Why do I need a second citizenship? And that is because the government is getting more and more restrictive. What they can do, instead of putting you in prison because you're not in the UK, if you criticize the government, they just cancel your passport. Just like the US. If you don't pay more than 60 grand in taxes that they deem that you owe them, they just cancel your passport. They don't need to chase you. They don't need to do anything. If you have one passport and it's canceled, what are you going to do? You're going to cry and come back home to pay the tax or do whatever the government wants you to do because they own you. If you have one passport, your government essentially owns you. Unless your government has a strict no dual citizenship law, which a lot of countries have, I get it. What you want to do in that case is have as many residency permits, as many permanent residencies in other countries as possible. UK allows dual citizenship. You want to get a second citizenship. For example, in Eastern Europe, non-EU Eastern Europe, a lot of these countries offer citizenship by exception. If you bring a business, if you hire employees, if you donate a large amount of money to society, it's possible. You have Caribbean citizenship by investment like St. Kitts, Antigua. $200,000, $250,000 grants you a citizenship, as well as larger sums for Malta, for example. €1 million grants you citizenship in Malta, gets you that access back to live in the European Union, and now you have a second country that you can potentially call home, a second passport that you can use in case your first one gets canceled or in case the government just goes absolutely tyrannical. Another note, if you have a family, wife, girlfriend, children. I'm preparing to have children, so that's why I say it, because now I'm thinking about this a lot, not just a single guy. You want to look at schools in the place where you're moving to. You want to look at healthcare, so that's why I recommend Dubai. Good schools, good healthcare, at least for the first couple of years. And then from there, from the place that you move to, you want to travel to other countries and see which ideal country is there for you and your family. For example, let's say you value nature and hiking and mountains, and you want access to those mountains for many months per year, then Dubai is not the right place for you. So that's why from Dubai, or from any place that you choose, you want to travel to other countries. I have a client from the UK who first moved to Baja California Sur, to La Paz in Mexico. Beautiful city, pretty safe. There's whales. It's honestly a very nice city. It's kind of boring for my taste, but from La Paz, he started traveling throughout all of Latin America. And he decided that he absolutely loves living in Costa Rica. He likes El Salvador and Costa Rica. He invested $1 million into the El Salvador Citizenship by Investment Program. Now he has 2 passports, UK and El Salvador, and he also lives between El Salvador and Costa Rica and Mexico. Your first choice doesn't have to be the best. You just determine what is the best for you, maybe the people, the nature. If safety is a huge concern for you, then maybe don't move to Mexico City, for example. You move to a place that is a lot safer. You might also start realizing that some priorities that you had when you were in the UK, the first couple of years when you move, they start going away. Maybe your priority was, I want to pay 0% tax. I don't want to pay $1 to anyone. That priority might change. Maybe your priority now is have a safe place that is not going to surveil me, is not going to chase me all over the world. I want a place where I pay 10% tax. I enjoy the nature. It's a pretty good culture. Then maybe Eastern Europe. could work for you. Serbia, for example, you pay 10 to 15% tax. You have a pretty relaxed government that's not going to chase you around the world. You have easy residency. You have good nature. You have good people, good parties, and it's kind of the middle ground. And a lot of clients, they decide, I don't really want to pay 0%. I want to pay a little bit, contribute to society in some way, but also not get robbed for 50% of my income. As we've seen over the last couple of weeks and months, protesting and going against the government mandates and essentially voicing your opinion because there is freedom of speech in the UK doesn't work. You get thrown in prison just like crazy criminals that have done insane crimes. Those get let go. But you, if you criticize the government, no, you're going to prison for a long time. So it doesn't matter if you stay and you fight these mandates and you fight these new policies. The best option, in my opinion, if you're wealthy, you want peace, you want safety, you don't want to deal with this. You want to go to a better place, pick one place, then start traveling, then determine the best place for you. If you want to see what countries our wealthiest clients are moving to, check out this video right here on the top 10 countries the wealthiest people in the world, as well as our wealthiest clients, are choosing for their ideal life. Check it out right here.